Good evening, Sunbeamians. I humbly salute Honorable Mr. Justice K.N. Basha, who is an iconic personality in the judicial field in the entire country, a seasoned senior judicial expert who has been kind enough to come to such a small place like a school, for him to have the inclination and the concern and the love to come down to Sunbeam School to meet all of you, to bless you, to give away the prizes, and also to give you the right kind of input with regard to sports is a very great gesture, and I am very thankful to him for that. My best wishes and love to the correspondent, the vice chairman, the principal and deputy correspondent, and senior advocate Godson, who has come all the way from Chennai, and Mr. Prabhakar, one of the trustees of Sunbeam, the proprietor of Devi Motors and Auto Stores. And my special love also to the management staff, teachers, of course, the fountain and the pillar behind such an event's possibility, my dear parents and my dear children of Sunbeam. It's a great feeling, as the school people leader told, to meet in such large numbers after a huge gap of 2 years, to be together, to cherish the hundreds of laurels and awards and prizes that the Sunbeamians have won in the entire vicinity of Vellore and Tamil Nadu in various open competitions conducted, where they have voluntarily gone, participated, won prizes and brought name and fame to Sunbeam. In word and spirit, every Sunbeamian who has gathered here is filled with the winning spirit of Sunbeam, I know that. And this occasion, the Sportsbeam Day of 2022 of Sunbeam Cbse, I'm sure will give a lot of enthusiasm and spirit and encouragement to all these mighty young budding Sunbeamians sitting in this auditorium. I'm so happy about that. When we talk about sports, I have a lot of things to say, but I would like to say one or two, and then I would be very glad to introduce our chief guest, the inimitable Justice, Mr. Justice K.N. Basha. Usually in private schools, many of you know, the sports enthusiasm normally dies off once the sports day is over. It's almost like the climax of sports, and then you don't see anything about sports. But I feel that Sunbeam would be different and should be different. This spirit, this festive mood, and this highlight of the importance of Sunbeam, I humbly request, should go through the whole year, fill the whole year, all the months, all the seasons, whether it is examination season or non-examination season. And there must be encouragement from teachers and the management to the children who participate in sports. I promise to you, on behalf of Sunbeam, that all the sports-loving children would be appreciated, highlighted, and given due importance and support. And there are a few other notable scientific findings throughout the world happening now. There is so much competition in academics, in education. Everybody wants to achieve something in life bigger than the other person. There are so many competitive examinations, like for example the NEET and the JEE and so many other cosmetic interesting courses. And when you talk about competition, all the parents and all the children are very concerned about remembering, freshness of the brain, and then generation of new cells in the brain, and the ability of every child to cope with the load of academics. But many of us do not know that the recent scientific findings clearly prove that the only way any child in the world can achieve academic excellence is to keep on refreshing the cells of the brain through physical exercise. I'm not saying sports, I'm not saying games, physical activity. So there are interesting developments in the Western world now. For example, there is a special school called the Napier School in the Illinois state, which has got a wonderful model now, which is followed by many countries like China, Korea, Japan. You know what it is? Usually, tell me, how many periods do you have for physical education in a week? How many? Okay, let's say at the most 2. But the strong recommendation by the Napier School is that there must be some kind of physical activity, preferably sports, enjoyable sports, coupled with some music, some jumping, some running, the hop, skip, jump, fortune for every child. Every day there must be something for the child, they say. And they're practicing it there for the past 20 years. And you know the outcome? You would be surprised. If you can give physical exercise for 20 minutes for every child in a school on all the working days of the year, which they have practiced, before they started practicing it, American children were 16th rank in the world in a survey called the TIMSS survey. Expertise in maths and sciences. 16th rank in the world in maths and 19th rank in the world in science. But after practicing this habit of giving physical exercises and fun and music, like what we are doing, the Zumba dance introduced by the correspondent, I think you remember that. Some kind of physical activity, America has now got, the Napier School has now got the best in science and the sixth in maths in the whole of the world, which is a remarkable progress. And interestingly, you would be happy to know that if you can do physical activity before the starting of the day, school day, you get 93% improvement in mathematical ability and 43% improvement in science learning ability. That means your brain opens wide, becomes receptive. The cells are very active, vibrant, reverberating, and ready to receive information and store and support you to remember and learn very well. So this idea of sitting in a corner, never getting up, never walking around, never moving around, 10 hours of sitting, 6 hours of sitting, 4 hours of sitting and learning, all these ideas should go away from your mind. Physical activity is very important. In addition to become intelligent in mathematics and science, the children in the Napier School have become less obese. They have become slim, slith, elegant, stylish, and handsome. There were 23% of the children obese in the beginning before they did physical activity, and now there are only 3% children who are fat. All the remaining 97% are excellent. So this piece of information to the children, because I want the parents who have gathered here to note it and remember that playing in the ground, running around, jumping around, being physically active will support your child. In addition to that, you won't make your child weak at the later years. An obese child today is a potential victim for diabetes and cancer after 45 years of age. So let us not do that blunder. Let's encourage sports. And my dear children, Sunbeamians, you should all become ready to play in this ground, which is one of the most beautiful playgrounds in the entire Tamil Nadu. It's more than 15 acres of land filled with green grass, enriched with all the sports facilities that are required for children. Please make use of them. And whoever is interested, seriously, remember also that there is a lot of money, there is a lot of fame, there is a lot of opportunity in the field of sports. Now, sports is a very lucrative field. Even an ordinary kabaddi player has become a huge, rich, popular, even kabaddi. And all these technically sound games like cricket and tennis and all other basketball kind of things that you have in Sunbeam will make you outstanding champions and popular stars. Every one of you can become a popular star if you take to sports. So with that, I would be very glad to introduce our chief guest, Honorable Mr. Justice K.N. Basha. He was the former chairman of the Intellectual Property Appellate Board of Tamil Nadu. He was attached to the law firm of one of the most popular lawyers. He was considered the most inimitable Mr. N.T. Vanamamalai. He was like a roaring lion of whom even judges were scared. His knowledge of the vastness in judiciary was so strong in law that everybody were patiently listening to Mr. N.T. Vanamamalai, expecting that something of a gem would come out of his mouth with regard to law and legal interpretations. So our justice, Honorable Justice, was his junior, and then later he took over the office of Honorable Justice Shri R. Balasubramanian, and when he became elevated to the Madras High Court. Our Lordship was actually designated a senior advocate from 2005, and he became a judge of Madras High Court in December 2005. He retired from service on attaining the age of superannuation in 2013. Honorable Mr. Justice K.N. Basha was born in 1951. He is now 71, but he is extremely young and active. He is also to be mentioned as a very special personality for not losing his temper. In the court, Honorable Mr. Justice K.N. Basha was remarkably popular for being a man who doesn't lose his temper, who doesn't lose his cool. In the morning as he goes fresh to the court, and in the evening when he comes out of the court at 5 o'clock, he would be just as fresh as he was in the morning, which is amazing. He gave justice to all the people with care and concern. He was always relief-oriented. Interestingly, there is a saying about Honorable Mr. Justice K.N. Basha that both the complainant and the complained went out of the court of Justice Mr. K.N. Basha happily, because he was always impartial in delivering justice. He is right now the chairman of the Fees Determination Committee of Arts and Sciences College. He was in the Intellectual Affairs Committee. Most tolerant, most patient, most benevolent, a scholar of multifaceted talents and extremely interested in the welfare of humanity. He loves children. He is quite young in his mind, well-read, in touch with all the contemporary things of the world now. And I am so glad that you and me are fortunate to listen to Honorable Mr. Justice K.N. Basha, and I leave you with him. Thank you very much.